One of the things I noticed when I did my inspection was our water pump, which is located down here, was really hard to rotate. And one of the things on the customer's list was they were having overheating issues where they felt that the front thermo fans weren't coming on. So what I'm going to do this morning is I have already drained the cooling system yesterday. I'm going to pull the water pump off and take a look and see what's going on inside and see if maybe the impeller has come loose or something's going on to cause this problem. I know you can't feel it through the camera, but there is a definite, this is the free play that it has. If I rock it back and forth, then to actually turn it is taking about 3 or 4 times the force that it should do to normally rotate it. So I want to see what's going on in there. I'm going to have to get an extension to get to the rest. So we're just going to lift the car up so I can disconnect the water line that's connected to the water pump. Then I've got 2 bolts left in it and it should be ready to pop right off. Come on. It's just the bearings are jammed up inside. Yep, there it is. That's awful. Yep. Now to get this gasket off, I've got to cut it because it's on this here. So I've got to get in there and cut those little pieces to release the gasket. When it comes to putting the new water pump gasket on, because we didn't take off this other water jacket area, we have to cut right here. So I'm just going to grab a set of side cutters and nip these little pieces. And same in the car, I've still got the gasket is kind of hanging there, it's bent over. I've got to break these connections in the car, which is a little bit of work because they're metal, it's not a paper gasket. So that just releases the water pump section of the gasket. I've got my new water pump installed, and what I need to do now is put on a new belt. So I'm just removing the old belt first and sliding it out. Then when I put the new one on, I want to make sure that my writing is facing out so I can read it. And the reason I do that is these belts shouldn't be reversed. So it's a good habit to put your belts on all the same way, so if you have to take it off in service, it goes on the same way it came off. Then I'm just going to start wrapping it around the crank pulley to begin. Down the tensioner. Around that water pump. So typically the way I like to do it is have it all set on so it's on the pulleys. I've got it around my crank, AC, power steering, alternator, and water pump. And then I'm just not on the final idler roller. Using a 24mm wrench, I'm going to press the tensioner down. That's going to let the belt slide over the roller. Then I just need to let go of it. And that should lock it all in place. Except I've gone on the wrong side of the pulley. There we go. Okay, so you need to make sure that it was in the pulleys all the way. So I had a problem at first where I couldn't quite get it to snap over, and the issue was it had popped out of my power steering pump pulley up here, and my crank pulley had popped out. But now I'm nice and smooth all the way around. I've got good tension on the belt, and we should be ready to roll. Radiator caps are a valved cap, so there is a spring and a valve in there that does wear. It is good to change these whenever you do any major cooling system work. When it comes to refilling, the spec on this is a G40 antifreeze. It's a 50-50 ratio. So the way I refilled it was I put in 2 gallons of antifreeze concentrate and then 2 gallons of distilled water. Then to do the final top up, because this whole system takes about 5 gallons, is I just took one of my empty containers, filled it half with fresh concentrate, and then topped it off with distilled water, marked it 50-50 so I know, and just topped off the system with that. And then I leave this in the shop, so whenever I have to service a car and I'm doing a quick top up, I know I'm topping it up with the right stuff. PSI, this system is designed to run at 1.3 bar, so that's around 19 PSI, so I'm just going to bring it up in that range. All right, we're about 14 PSI right now, holding nice and steady. It's 15, 16 PSI. Okay, so the last thing I'm doing is I'm just checking my level, making sure I'm full. Engine is cold and I'm right up to the very top, right here. So everything is all good. Ready to put the cap back on and go ahead and start the car.